マロさん、プリムラ、いや、お嬢さんを私にください。この年になるまで女には全く縁がなかったのに、こんなセリフを言うことになるとはな。しかも、異世界で。
As we begin to draw closer to the end of the seasons of anime, one thing that you'll find about me is I get particularly picky about what the end of a show is going to be. I am a big advocate in the anime community that I think that the most valuable thing that we have is not money, but it's time. And anytime that we are trading the most valuable thing that we have to a studio, a app like Crunchyroll or High Dive, whatever you want to say, but when we're trading that, and it also tends to include money, you want to get something back of value alongside of that. And when it comes to anime, I know it might sound silly, but the trade that they can give us back for our time and sometimes money is a good ending. A good ending to the show. A good feel that hey, by the end of episode 12 or 11 or 13, whatever the standard episode is, every now and then we get the 24s and the 36s and stuff, but generally 11, 12, 13 episodes you want to feel pretty good about, the show that you invested time in. Now, by the time we get to episode 11, 12, 13, you kind of already made the decision of, yeah, I'm in here for the long haul. I'm in here to finish this show up. So you want to get a decent ending. So I begin to get particularly picky. Now, when it comes to that subject, when it comes to daily life, specifically episode number 11, although I thought this was a good episode, especially it was a good setup episode, right? It starts off the episode with the queen and the princess, and specifically the princess wanting to meet the mage, wanting to meet Kenichi, wanting to learn about him. So she basically strong arms her mom into basically summoning Kenichi to her. So this is really going to be all about the princess moving forward. And we know so even more so with the end of the episode where it was literally called The Unreasonable Mischievous Princess. So episode 12, although they've sprinkled her in and we know what she looks like, and we've had maybe 2-3 minutes of screen time for the princess. We know, about her. In totality, they're introducing a brand new character to us in episode 12. So that's where my problem lies is, okay, we already have a plethora of characters from Meowly to Anemone to Primula, the other girls, the barkeep, the other cat girl, I forget what her name is. I don't know, the yellow hair girl. So we have a plethora of characters already. So they're going to introduce one more girl to Kenichi's harem of girls with the princess. It's undeniable. I think everybody can see that writing on the wall that that's going to happen. Whether Primula allows it or Kenichi or Anemone, whatever, it doesn't matter. They're going to introduce it. But we have 2 episodes left. So at this point, he has a royal summons. He's going to get summoned to the king. He's going to see what ends up, what they want. He's going to see the princess, blah, 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 blah. But we have 2 episodes. We have about 40 minutes left of runtime. So if next episode is her introduction, then the following will actually be what the kingdom specifically wants from Kenichi. And that's a big deal, and that's a big problem. So it's like, okay, well, now that we are at this point, there's only going to be so much that they can honestly and truly do when it comes to giving us a reasonable ending. Now, don't get me wrong. I've had a great time watching this show. I think this is one of the gems of the season. I think this is one of the better anime of the season, and I've generally really enjoyed it. It's just my problem goes back to what kind of ending are we going to get? And in my opinion, we're probably going to get a non-ending ending. And that could be for a variety of reasons. That could be because the manga is still serialized and ongoing. That could be because the studio, is hoping for a reissue and a season 2. That could be because they're not really sure and they're kind of just doing it on the fly. There's a ton of different reasons, but we're probably going to get a non-ending ending. But what episode 11 did, which we could take some solace in, is officially Primula is Kenichi's wife. He asked for her hand in marriage. Mallow gave it over to Kenichi. So if anything, we could take away from 11 and we can call this the marriage episode. This is the episode where he's officially married. Now he still has other girls to worry about and contend with, but this was the official marriage. This is the official marriage episode. The other thing that it did is our girl Anemone had her period, which means she's officially a woman, which she can officially bear Kenichi's child, which he feels some type of way about that, as he should, because she's a baby. So that totally makes sense. I think she's I think we looked it up last episode. I think she's 12 years old. Still a baby, okay? So that is a whole thing with Kenichi as well, too. He's going to have to contend with having her wait, you know? And by the time that she waits, he's going to be now from 40 to 45. It's a lot older of a man. And she's going to be 17, 18 years old, whatever the case is. So that goes into a lot of inconspicuous not in a very conspicuous territory. So who knows how that's going to end up being. But we're not going to get to see it because guess what? The freaking ass show ends in 40 minutes. It ends in 2 episodes and 2 more weeks. So, yeah. So anyways, this episode was fine. You know, we got to see them take down the Thermogula guild or whatever. We got to see the Mallow company, take over some of the lands. We got to see him work with the, not governor, chancellor, whatever the girl with the big cojones, the big, her husband or whatever. We got to see him work with that, trading company, get to see that official outpost happen. So this was definitely a great setup episode, but this one, like many other episodes, is more of a mid-season episode, not an episode where it's like, oh, an episode right before we officially end the whole entire show, which again has just been a running theme this season. Is we're coming across episode 10s, 11s, and 12s, where it feels like it's an episode in the middle of a season, not the season ending. And when you say season ending, that could indicate that the show is ending forever, because we may never see a continuation of this show ever. And a lot of times when it comes to these budget shows, if we do, it's going to be like 5 years from now, which at that point, it's like, just read the manga, I guess. So anyways, this episode was fine. I thought it was a good episode. I legitimately liked it. I'll give it a 7 out of 10. I liked the episode. I just don't like how close we are to the end of the season. All right, my friends. Lots of thoughts, scatterbrained all over the place. Let me know your comments. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Agree, disagree, feel indifferent, whatever. Just let me know or just say hi in the comments. I'll definitely appreciate it. Tells YouTube that we don't suck. Hit the like button. And of course, if you're not subscribed, crazy, please subscribe. I need to get these numbers up. I need to get these numbers hella up. Like my whole channel is very anorexic right now. So, subscribe. Tell your homies. All right. Peace out, my friends.